You think you need that new car, the designer watch, the latest phone to show the world you've made it. But here's the hard truth. Every dollar you spend to look rich is a dollar that could actually help you get rich. It's a subtle trap, one that keeps millions from ever achieving true financial freedom. Today, we're not just talking about money. We're talking about a mindset shift. We're breaking down the illusion of wealth and uncovering the real, actionable path to building it. This isn't about getting rich quick, it's about getting rich smart. So if you're ready to trade temporary status for lasting security, stay with me. The next few minutes could fundamentally change your financial future. Let's get started. So what's the difference between looking rich and being rich? It all comes down to understanding two simple words: assets and liabilities. An asset is something that puts money in your pocket, like stocks, real estate, or a business. A liability is something that takes money out of your pocket. Now think about those common status symbols. The flashy car, the expensive clothes, the must-have gadgets. What category do they fall into? They are liabilities, plain and simple. The moment you drive that luxury car off the lot, it loses a significant chunk of its value. That designer handbag, it's not an investment, it's an expense. These items lose value the moment you buy them, and their primary purpose is to signal a status that might not even be real. It's a cycle of spending that keeps you from building real financial security, forcing you to work harder just to maintain an image. You're pouring your hard-earned cash into a bucket full of holes, all for the sake of appearances. It's a game you can't win because the goalposts are always moving. But what if you took just one of those dollars and put it to work for you? This is where we uncover the most powerful force in the universe for wealth creation: the compound effect. It sounds complex, but it's incredibly simple. Imagine you decide to skip one expensive dinner out with friends. That's about $100 you just saved. Now, instead of letting it sit in your bank account or spending it on something else, you invest it in a simple, low-cost index fund. Let's say you don't touch it for 30 years, with an average market return of around 10%. That single $100 decision could grow to over 1,145s. Think about that. One small sacrifice, one dinner, becomes a significant sum of money without you lifting another finger. Now apply that to all your discretionary spending. The daily fancy coffee, the subscription services you don't use, the impulse buys. Each of those small, seemingly insignificant purchases is a missed opportunity to plant a seed that could grow into a forest of wealth. This isn't magic, it's math, and it's a force that is available to every single one of us right now. Changing your habits isn't about deprivation, it's about intentionality. It's about shifting your mindset from short-term gratification to long-term freedom. Here are 3 simple, actionable steps you can take today to start this journey. First, you need to track your spending. You can't change what you don't measure. For 1 month, track every single dollar. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or a simple notebook. The goal isn't to judge yourself, it's to gain clarity. You will be shocked to see where your money is actually going. Second, you have to define your goals. Why do you even want wealth? Is it for the freedom to quit a job you hate? For the security of knowing your family is taken care of? To travel the world? Get specific. Write it down. This why will be the fuel that keeps you going when the temptation to splurge arises. Finally, start small and automate your investments. You don't need a fortune to start. You can begin with as little as $25 or $50 a month. The key is to set up an automatic transfer from your checking account to your investment account. This consistency is what builds momentum. It takes the emotion and guesswork out of it and puts your wealth building on autopilot. So let's bring it all together. We've seen how the desire to look rich creates a spending cycle that actually keeps you poor. We've uncovered the incredible power of the compound effect, where even a single dollar can multiply over time. And we've laid out a clear 3-step plan to shift your habits and start building real, lasting wealth. The choice is yours. You can continue chasing fleeting status symbols, or you can start making your money work for you. Stop wasting your money on useless things and start investing in your future. Remember, the compound effect is the most powerful force for wealth generation, and it waits for no one. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now. Go take action.
Meet Alex and Ben, 2 friends who graduated on the same day, with the same degree, and landed jobs with nearly identical salaries. Their starting lines were the same, but their finish lines would be worlds apart. In his first year, Alex bought the car he'd always dreamed of, a gleaming luxury sedan. He wore tailored suits, sported a new designer watch every year, and his social media was a curated gallery of expensive dinners and lavish vacations. He looked rich, and to him, that's what mattered. Ben, on the other hand, kept his old college car. He found a simple, comfortable apartment and learned to cook for himself. His colleagues sometimes joked about his frugal habits. While Alex was posting photos from a five-star hotel, Ben was at home, reading a book on investment strategies. Every month, without fail, the money he saved, the money Alex was spending, was quietly moved into a low-cost index fund. It wasn't glamorous, there were no flashy purchases to show off. It was just a number on a screen. Slowly, almost invisibly, growing. 10 years passed. Alex was now a manager. His salary had increased, but so had his expenses. He had a bigger house with a bigger mortgage, a newer luxury car on a new lease, and 2 kids in private school. He was constantly stressed about money, trapped on a treadmill of earning more just to spend more. The designer clothes felt less like a choice and more like a uniform he had to wear to keep up appearances. He was earning a 6-figure salary, but he had less than $1,000 in savings. He was living a life that looked successful, but felt fragile, like a house of cards. And that same year, Ben quit his job. Not because he was fired, but because he didn't need it anymore. His small, consistent investments, nurtured by the magic of the compound effect, had grown into a small fortune. The dividends alone were enough to cover his modest living expenses. He spent his days traveling not to fancy resorts, but to places he'd always wanted to see, on his own terms. He started a small consulting business, working only on projects he was passionate about. He wasn't trying to look rich. He was simply free. One afternoon, they met for coffee. Alex, exhausted from a week of corporate battles, complained about his mortgage. Ben listened patiently. When Alex asked him how he was doing, Ben just smiled. He didn't talk about his portfolio or his net worth. He talked about his time. The freedom to wake up without an alarm. The joy of pursuing a passion without worrying about the paycheck. It was then that Alex finally understood. He had spent a decade, and a fortune, buying things. Ben had spent a decade buying something far more valuable, his own life back. Every dollar you spend to look rich is a dollar that could have actually helped you get rich. So, stop wasting your money on useless things. Stop chasing the shadow of wealth and start building the substance of it. Start investing, not just your money, but in your own freedom. The compound effect is waiting.